Having the right supplier team at your wedding is absolutely priceless, but how do you make sure that you're paying the right amount for your Italian wedding suppliers? Ciao, I'm Lucy. I'm a wedding planner and I've planned over 200 Italian weddings. I'm here every week with information to help guide you through the Italian wedding planning process. If you haven't already, please comment, subscribe or like below. It really helps us reach more people in your shoes planning Italian weddings. The right supplier team is crucial to your enjoyment of your wedding day and how things go. If you think of it like any team at work, a well-oiled team is going to work much better and make your day much more enjoyable for your suppliers. They'll probably do a better job and you'll probably have a nicer experience. But good suppliers cost money and we all have a budget to stick to. So how do we make sure that we're paying the right things? Here's my 5 tips. First one is being clear on what you want. And this is about getting yourself informed about what's out there. So you may have an idea of what you want, but actually once you start to look, your ideas may change slightly, or what you learn may change the course of your planning. Getting a good understanding of what's out there is quite easy to do. There's lots of directories, including Lista, where you can go and look at all sorts of different suppliers, and quite quickly you'll see what kind of an average price is for certain supplier types. But remember that every supplier has the right to charge what they are worth. So this means based on their expertise, the length of their experience, and the individual service that they're offering, their price may be different. Not all florists, for example, are the same. They offer different preparation services and different services on the day, and this may affect their price. The more you can learn about this and what you actually want from a supplier and what is out there, the more easily you'll be able to work out the price that you should be paying. A little tip here is to really hone into what is good value to you personally. So one person may place a lot of value on photography and think that that's well worth investing in, and that's where a large proportion of their budget will go. Another person may have a very different opinion of photography. So once you've got an understanding of kind of what's normal and what this range would be for photography, you're going to then pitch yourself somewhere along that line, depending on the priority that you place this particular service at. And then once you've established if this is a priority for you, you've got to work out if this actually fits within your budget. So hopefully you'll have seen some of my other videos and you'll know that the budget is really the first thing that you should start with when planning a wedding. You should identify the different areas of your wedding that you're going to need to invest in and assign an amount to that. This budget document will then help guide you in this decision making. So you'll have 3 things: a good understanding of what you want, a good understanding of what that supplier range is, so from 1,000 to 5,000 euro, and whether it's a priority for you and it actually fits in your budget. The next thing to do is to make sure that you shop around. So let's say you've worked out that you've got 3,000 euro to spend on a photographer. You found a few that are in this region of pricing, but maybe it's time to shop around a little bit and find some more to make sure that you're getting the quality of supplier that you really need and want. It is also okay to ask suppliers if they will negotiate. Suppliers will soon tell you if they won't, and some of them will. So for example, if you were talking to a photographer that was based in the UK and they were already flying over to Italy for a wedding a few days before your wedding, if they quoted you a price and you went back and said, do you know what, we've got this budget, and let's be honest, it should be a little bit lower than what they've quoted you. They're probably not going to go for anything significantly lower. But if they're just down the road the day before or 2 days before, it would be very easy for them to just stay on and potentially do your wedding without many further expenses. But it's really important to shop around and give this the time that it deserves. You are spending a lot of money with every different supplier, and as I've said before, they make a huge difference to your day. So really looking around and getting the right one is absolutely vital. The next thing, the third thing to do, is to chat to other people, and we're all about community here at La Lista. We've got a Facebook group with almost 1,000 couples in. They're all talking about their Italian weddings all the time, and one of the things that is regularly coming up is, what are you paying for X service? Now, as I said in number 1, everyone charges different things and they are different services. You can't really compare like for like, but talking to other people and knowing what they have been charged and quoted can give you a good understanding of what you might look to pay. The fourth thing to do is to make sure that you're really clear on what is included in that service. Now, as a wedding planner, it is a huge part of my job to make sure that the communication is super clear at this point of booking any supplier. So there are lots of different things that you want different suppliers to do and include in their contract. And if you haven't planned a wedding before, or you're not used to doing events, you might not actually know what these are. So you're kind of relying on the supplier to do this bit for you, but it kind of comes down to common sense, and you'll probably be able to work out what you think you need, but you are leaning on that supplier. So making a good connection with them and knowing that you trust them goes alongside this step. Suppliers want to help you. They want you to have everything that you want. They want everything to be clear too. They might not know what it is that you want. So this is all about good communication. You making sure you're asking them the right questions, you're communicating with them, and equally they're doing it back. That nice, trusting, transparent relationship is what we're looking for, and then everything will work out. And the fifth thing to do to make sure that you're paying the right prices is to lock those prices in. And that's with signing a contract, a nice detailed contract that summarises what you're going to get and what you're going to pay, and signing that in advance and locking it in. That means that those prices can't change. You've signed a contract, you've committed to something, and the supplier has committed to. Then you're locking in those prices where they are. That might be a year, 18 months before your wedding, but that means you're safe in the knowledge that that is the price, and that goes into your budget, and that is not going to change unless you change the requirements of that service. A lot of people find Italian planning overwhelming, and obviously you're going to spend a huge amount of money. Whatever that is, it is going to be a lot of money, and people are on guard with their budget, and that is totally fair and fine. And just remember that most wedding suppliers are extremely lovely, talented, creative people, and they just want to give you the best day ever. They really care about you and your wedding as well. Sadly, there are a few that don't think like this, and unfortunately they're the ones that we tend to hear about more. But overwhelmingly, the industry is full of just lovely people, and they're not scared to talk about money, and they will have these conversations with you. So confidently go forth and talk about money, negotiate and fix those contracts with your suppliers. It is your job to investigate, to know what you want, to pick the right suppliers at the right value for you. It is your wedding, and only you know what you want and what you want to pay for that, or what you can pay for that. Thank you for joining me for this episode. Don't forget that we have an amazing community of couples over in our Facebook group. The link will be in the comments below. And don't forget to check out Lista.com, where we've got loads of advice on planning your Italian wedding, and most of it is completely free. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.